This functional vet. This is a super brief on soil sampling. This represents your garden. What you want to do is you want to take a sample from various places inside here. One method is to grid the thing off. Another one is just to randomly take samples at different points. Mix these all together in a nice clean bowl and get your sample from that. Let me show you a tool which is useful for pulling your sample to 6 inches for vegetables. This is a soil sampling tool. It consists of a tube, a handle, a cutout section for removing your sample. Whenever you get one of these things, make sure that you clean out any debris that's inside here. This is particularly important if you're going to be doing any type of sampling for chemicals. When I bought this one, there was a little bit of buildup in here from where this had been cut and filed down. Also, you need to know the depth from here to whatever depth you're taking. Growing vegetables, I want a 6-inch sample, and this is about the 6-inch mark. Sometimes I have to push this in further because the soil is compressing, and in order to get my 6 inches, I have to go in sometimes up to the 8-inch level, which is a little black line that I painted on the other side. Other tools consists of an analog thermometer, which are used for getting soil temperatures, or a digital device which gives me both temperature, wetness, and if I change the setting on the back, it will give me pH. Okay, there's our pH setting showing 7.0. So let me show you how this stuff works real quick. This is the garden that we're going to be wanting to sample. Because of its size, we could do this one of two ways. We could either sample a certain portion of it, send in as a separate sample, or sample the thing as a whole and send that in. Because of this compost right here just now being dumped into the garden, I do not want to sample that because I know that's going to be a lot richer than the rest of it. So we only want to sample where that area of compost is not. And we're going to simulate this with a single sample because this is an abbreviated deal. But we would normally take, say, 10 samples out of something this size. This is roughly 20 by 60. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a clean bowl, a temperature and pH probe, and a soil sampling. We go down inside here to a depth of 6 inches. Give it a quarter turn and work it out. And here's our sample. Now we got a root in there that we can see. Got another root, well, a piece of root. A lot of pieces of root. And we push with our finger. Don't get your finger caught in there. Any pieces that we have. Now we would take the number of samples that we need for this garden area. Then, after we had all of our samples inside the bowl, we would come back, we would break them up. Now remember, there would be 10, 20 samples in here for this garden, depending upon whatever I needed. And you can always decide to take more samples if you need to. Get all the organic stuff out. Then you would bag this separately. And the paperwork, I'm going to do a specific paper on that. I'm going to do a video just on the paperwork because it's that important, including labeling your collection bag. And this big thing that just walked into the picture is Daisy. I'm going to put a link in the description for another video which has a whole lot more detail in it, plus freebies, and everybody likes freebies, especially when it helps you to grow crops. To use the temperature and pH gauge, plus it tells you how wet everything is. Turn it on. Shove it into the ground. Let me zoom in on it. It's telling you that it's wet. It's telling you that the temperature is at 78 degrees. Okay, the temperature there is holding at 77 degrees. We flip the switch on the back and it gives us a pH of 5.5. Also, the sunlight shows to be high right here. That's a little bit higher on this thing. I paid $35 for this at Tractor Supply, and I think it's a pretty good one. Dysfunctional vet out.